Hi guys, and welcome to another fairy tale video. Today's story is a shorter one again. It kind of reminds me of a story that I know, but I'm not really sure if it's the right one. The story that I think of is with, I think, 12 girls spinning gold out of straw or something like that. So it's spinning, but that's also a very common thing in those times, so maybe it's not the same at all or anyway similar, but let's start with it. The name is called Nasty Flax Spinning. In olden times there lived a king who loved flax spinning more than anything else, and his daughters had to spin the entire day. If he didn't hear the wheels humming, he became angry. One time he had to take a trip, and before he said his farewell, he gave a large cassette of flax to the queen and said, "All this must be spun by the time I return." The princess became distressed and wept. "If we are to spin all of the flax, we'll have to sit the entire day and won't be able to get up at all." But the queen replied, "Console yourselves, I'll certainly help you." Now there were 3 especially ugly spinsters in the realm. The first had such a huge lower lip that it hung beneath her chin. The second had an index finger on her right hand that was so thick and white that one could make 3 fingers out of it. The third had such a large, white, fat foot that it was as large as a kitchen board. The queen summoned the 3 spinsters to the castle, and on the day that the king was supposed to return home, she sat them down next to one another in the room, gave each of them a spinning wheel and ordered them to spin. Moreover, she told each of them what to answer when the king questioned them. As soon as the king arrived, he heard the humming of the wheels from a distance and was so glad that he intended to praise his daughters. However, upon entering the room and seeing the horrible spinster sitting there, he was first startled. Then he stepped toward them and asked the first woman how she got the hideously large lower lip. "From licking, from licking." Then he asked the second where she got her thick finger from. "From turning the thread, from turning the thread and twinning it." As she said this, she led the thread around her finger a couple of times. Finally, he asked the third one where she got her flat foot from. "From stamping, from stamping." When the king heard all this, he commanded the queen and the princess never ever to touch a spinning wheel again. And this is how to rid themselves of their agony. The end. Wow, that's an interesting story. I really didn't know how it will turn out. At first I thought that it might be on the king's side, so that the princesses were abandoned afterwards or have to do even more spinning or something like that. But it's on the side of the spinning girls. That's interesting, because the stories are mostly about doing what your parents tell you, or otherwise you will end in misery. Also, you guys may know that I'm studying medicine, so it's really interesting for me to think of what the illnesses could really have been. I mean, it's not uncommon that they would have seen this in real life. There maybe could be some kind of birth defect with those, and it's really interesting for me to think of what it might have been and if it really happened in those days, and if they thought that they were maybe from the devil or something like that, because that's kind of common in these days or earlier days, I'm not sure, but I definitely read about that. Yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you like these kind of stories. As you know, they are a lot of fun for me. And if you want to, you could give the video a thumbs up. You know the deal. You could follow me if you don't already do and you like the stuff I do. And then we will see each other in my next video. Bye!